Hello, welcome to the podcast. We are going to talk about the most misunderstood, underrated, tragically underused tool in CrossFit, hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy, and also a considerable amount of hypertrophy.
Yeah, the boring stuff, the bicep curls and all that stuff. You know, the 3 sets of 10 to 20, that stuff. This stuff is important, y'all. And this is probably the most underutilized tool in CrossFit to improve. And we want to talk about it. And why are you so mad about it?
It doesn't matter!
Why are you so mad about hypertrophy?
It doesn't matter!
Oh, it's so boring. I don't feel like I got a good workout in.
Which is interesting because I find it actually quite hard. Let's talk about myth number 1. I'll get too big if I lift like this. It's an interesting argument because I'm trying to imagine somebody just hitting a few sets of 10 to 20 on their bicep and all of a sudden it's just going to blow up so big you're not going to know what to do with it. Oh no, my shirts don't fit.
I wish.
Oh no, my bicep is so big.
Women have been turning into Arnold Schwarzenegger at an alarming rate. I mean, my mom started lifting. She had a 25-inch muscular arm. The next day, veins in her quads. We couldn't even understand what she was saying because she was like, you will not blow up and become an insane-looking bodybuilder.
I've heard the argument. I've just never seen it in real life. I honestly don't think I've ever seen a bicep so big. I was like, oh my gosh, put that thing away. What is that? Gosh, what do you do? Do you just do bicep curls all day? Like, let's just talk about reality here for a second, folks. Like, you're not going to get huge doing some hypertrophy. You will gain muscle, but the difference between gaining 10 pounds of lean body mass and gaining 40 is quite different. Yes, if you use PEDs, aka performance enhancing drugs, this could happen. The reality is like if you really want to put on like a lot of muscle, and here's the thing, if you put on 10 to 15 pounds of lean mass over years, like that's really good work and well done. And there's ceilings and caps to this. It can't just go on forever. For me, I've been at a very similar lean body mass. It's about 99 pounds. And I'll fluctuate between 97 and 101, and it's really hard to go outside of that naturally. So that's why I'm thinking about going to the dark side.
Oh.
Combined orals plus injectables of 3+ grams per week. Testosterone replacement therapy is usually between 100 and 200 milligrams per week. Multiple of 30 of normal male testosterone or similar anabolic hormone levels.
Okay. Yeah, this is my last year.
I've never heard this
I've
story
hit my
before.
genetic potential.
Whatever.
And I've heard that you should start playing with this if you can go past your,
Yeah, probably especially if you want to get like health conditions really early.
Exactly. So, but here's the reality, folks. You need to eat like it's your job. You need to progressively overload your training, and you need to recover well, sleep hours and hours a night. And you need to do this for years if you want to get significant gains or maybe get too big. Let's talk about myth number 2. This isn't very hard. Hypertrophy is so easy.
You're gonna sit here for 2 whole seconds. You're gonna come up only 2/3 of the way. You like pain? Good news. Up, down, down, slow. Do not f***ing break. We'll look forward. There's nothing down there for you to see. Chest up, motherfucker. Don't you goddamn touch your leg. Wait. Up. Get out of here.
Let's talk about the real problem here. Is this a CrossFit culture problem? Are you obsessed with suffering?
That's ridiculous.
Are you obsessed with 20-minute AMRAPs that feel like a mini lifespan of life to death? Sometimes I think in CrossFit, we can feel like if a workout is not like that, then therefore what are we doing? We're wasting time. We need to get after it, and it needs to frickin' hurt. Hypertrophy isn't supposed to feel like that. It can still hurt and burn, but it can still be hard. And just because it isn't hard like a 20-minute AMRAP doesn't mean that it's not beneficial. It's extremely beneficial. Madeline?
I've seen you do it several times, and it's kind of scary.
Oh, God. Oh, sorry to hear that.
And that's how it's done, everybody.
Yeah, it can be
I
pretty
haven't
tough.
reached that level, but
I think the hard truth here is, in CrossFit, we are addicted to a certain style of suffering, which I would say we could be addicted to chaos.
no, we definitely are. But I think you have to retrain yourself to think differently.
Yeah, there's a time and place for it. We definitely like hard workouts, and hard workouts are really beneficial, but not if it's the only thing you do. So let's remember, just because it isn't chaotic and hard does not mean it's not beneficial.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that.
And, lots of you people get injured. Injury will come from severe intensity, from not having proper technique, not slowing down enough. Hypertrophy fixes this. This is how you stay healthy. This is how you help your joints. This is how you strengthen those ligaments and tendons and joints.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that.
Let's talk about a dicey myth. I'm gaining weight. That's bad, isn't it?
Well, what kind of weight?
Let's just think about this for a second. Let's use some logic.
Okay.
If you're gaining lean muscle, that's a good kind of weight, right? Muscle increases your metabolism. Muscle protects your joints. Muscle is literally the thing that makes CrossFit easier. So you're not getting worse by putting on lean body mass. I think you're actually getting better.
Yeah, you're making yourself a better athlete.
Survivability comes from the health of skeletal muscle. The higher the amount of skeletal muscle mass you have, the healthy skeletal muscle mass, the greater your survivability against nearly any kind of disease.
You're going to start building a healthy foundation to become better at the sport of CrossFit. If you start embracing having hypertrophy, maybe not all year, but part of your year of building a stronger base.
Off season.
Then we got to start thinking like athletes. Have an off season, have an in season, have goals, have priorities. That's how you do it. One of the things that was said at a CrossFit Kids seminar I did a long time ago, and they said this was kind of like their value set when we train kids, is they said, what we like to teach kids when we train them when they start doing CrossFit is we like to get them to understand it's not what you look like, it's what you can do is what is important. And I think that's really cool because what it's building early on in a kid's fitness development is that it's more about their work capacity than what they potentially look like, which sometimes that's what fitness can become all about. Not saying that that's a bad thing. I know a lot of us are here for that, so that's fine. But there is this element that's really powerful and beautiful that we celebrate what you can do. Hey, let's talk about another myth. I just want to move better, Anton. I don't want to get big. Just want to move better. Well, folks, how in the world do you move better if you have no muscle? Somebody explain this to me. I know a lot of really good dancers that move really good. You want to know when they stop moving good? When the weights get heavy. I don't know. You could have amazing body awareness and capacity and fluidity in your movement, but if you have to move a heavy load and have virtuosity, you need to have muscle. If you want to have better pull-ups, you need stronger lats. You need biceps. You do that by bent over rows, lat pull downs, bicep curls. That's how you get a pull-up. Or you do gymnastic strength training. You want better barbell cycling, you need a stronger back. You need stronger legs.
You need strength work.
Of course, we want to move better. And let's remember this. All of you look quite good moving an empty barbell, and it shows us that we can move well. We already do move well. The problem is we don't do well when things get harder and heavier. And so this whole concept of not getting big versus moving better, they're not like fighting each other. If you get stronger, it doesn't mean you get bigger. It just means you move better. So this actually is how you move better. You want to move better, get stronger. That's how you will move better.
Period.
Last myth of the day. Hypertrophy isn't real CrossFit.
And so I'm not really worried about isolating a particular muscle. The older I get, and it'd probably be more advantageous even when I was younger to do more target things, find things that are gonna target and strengthen things around that knee for any type of injury. That's something I've learned with this shoulder issue I've had. I've got a couple tears in the rotator cuff just from 13 years of competitive CrossFit. Like, it's going to happen.
That'll do
And
it.
So if I can strengthen the delt, the pecs, the rhomboids, everything around it.
Keeps everything stable.
Keeps everything stable.
Yep.
And so that's something that I've learned over the last, I've known it. I just don't like to revert back to that because
Yeah.
it's not as fun. It's not as
Oh, yeah.
flashy as what we do.
For
You're like,
sure.
I want to come in here and hurt because that's what the way we're programmed.
What?
I do recollect a long time ago being in a CrossFit seminar, and the founder of CrossFit did say, we take anything that works, makes you better. So maybe you don't actually know what CrossFit is. That's my guess. You know, Maddie, I love it when people in gyms like ours think and they know everything about CrossFit.
Yeah, me too. It's my favorite thing ever.
But for some reason, fitness is just one of those things that everybody knows everything about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really mainstreamed in the worst way.
It is. Hypertrophy is CrossFit because guess what, friends? Anything that works and makes you have better work capacity is CrossFit. Is hypertrophy CrossFit? Yes.
It is.
Because it works, and CrossFit takes anything that works. Like we said, if you want better muscle endurance, if you want to move loads that are heavier better, this is how you do it. You need to get stronger and more resilient and less injury prone, and this is what hypertrophy does. And
It's
it does
real.
matter. And it's not some random thing we're doing.
We're not just doing this for fun.
Just imagine the coaching team is just sitting in the back room going, hey, what do you think, huh? What if we just
Let's just hang out and sit on some benches and
let's just do some bicep curls. I mean, I have no scientific relevance to back this up, but it just sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
No, we actually care. And we've done enough research to understand that this is just like a missing component in a lot of programming. Hypertrophy is real CrossFit. And you know what isn't real CrossFit? This doesn't feel like Fran. What are we doing?
Doing the work. That's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing. You're actually making it so next time you do Fran, you kill it. I want you to crush Fran, go unbroken. How the heck are you going to go unbroken if you can't shoulder press, you can't squat, you can't pull? But here's the truth. You're not over muscled. You're not going to gain 40 pounds of lean body mass, and you're blaming all your plateaus on everything except the real problem. And the real problem is that some more muscle is going to move you forward much faster than anything else. And we want to help you get there. And guess what? All the science is showing that as we age, we need more muscle. It is like the number one predictor of longevity.
So if you compare low muscle mass people to high muscle mass people as they age, the low muscle mass people have about a 3x hazard ratio or 200% increase in all-cause mortality.
Today, we're just talking about the thing that most people aren't working on, which is hypertrophy. We are working on our VO2 max. Like, CrossFitters don't struggle with that. We have some of the best out there. There's actually been studies that have shown that CrossFitters have as good a VO2 max as elite cyclists. We're psycho, like that we
It's true.
have that good a VO2 max. But what we don't have is muscle. So why do we program hypertrophy at Blue House? We want to be less injury prone. We want to have less broken shoulders. You know who you are. You know who you are.
Called out.
Okay, who I'm talking about.
Oh.
We want to have better muscle endurance. When you do sets of 4 sets of 15 to 30 on your triceps, like, it's going to make you have way better muscle endurance when it comes to any type of pressing. You're going to have more PRs. We're not going to always do hypertrophy, but if we're going to build better, more resilient, less injury prone athletes and people, we're going to have hypertrophy be a part of the season. Madeline, anything else you want to say about your hypertrophy journey? You never did any before you came here.
No.
And
No hypertrophy at all. And I was like, this stuff is crazy. I don't want to do it. And then I did it. And I did a whole lot better this season because of it.
and let me tell you this, because you did a little bit of it.
Yeah,
but
okay, that's true.
Now that you just finished semifinals, are you excited to see what you can do with some of hypertrophy in this next off season?
Yes, because it's very clear that I need to be way stronger.
So there you go, friends. Hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully you learned about the truth about hypertrophy. Go do some bicep curls. Make them hard and grunt a lot. Okay, or if you do lunges, let it burn. I would love it if somebody walked in and just everybody's like, it kind of should feel like this. And if you want those extra gains, just go almost to failure in every set. You know, if you ever wanted that horseshoe, you know what I'm talking about. That horseshoe on that tricep.
Oh.
This is how you get it.
Yep, then you can wear that muscle tank.
Yeah. Comment below if you have feelings about hypertrophy. We want to hear the good, bad, and the ugly.
We really do.
And if you do have ugly comments to say, we will just explain to you why you're wrong.